Hello, thank you for joining me on my 365-day journey. My name is Anna Delman. Welcome if you are visiting for the first time, and welcome if you are returning for some more encouragement. It is day 288, and my note for today: what does training up a child really mean? Is it a promise and a guarantee, or a guarantee? And that comes from Proverbs 22:6, and I have it on the whiteboard. I'll share that with you in a moment. And what does it say? Is it a promise of salvation or something else? Now, the reason I am prompted to share about children today is because my sister had guests over the past few days, children of her close friends, and then obviously their grandchildren, and they stayed here for the end of their journey around this area before they returned home, and they were here for 3 days. It has been many, many years that I've come across kids who have been made aware of their character, of how they function and how they interact with others, particularly how they interact with adults and strangers. It was such a treat for me to see such wonderful kids, and I told, not in front of the children, because I don't believe that's something you say in front of them. It should be the parents who conveys it to them, but I did tell the parents, you've done a great, great job. So, having said all of that, I do want to share with you what I've written on the whiteboard so that you can consider it. Now, you may be in a church community where they say Proverbs 22:6 is a promise, and you've got to get your kids going through Sunday school, you've got to get them in church, etc., because that's a promise of salvation. It's not. It isn't. Now, you might hear that and think, well, why am I saying that? Because your pastor has said it. Well, he's maybe lazy in how he's done his homework and studying the Word of God. It is from the Proverbs, which Proverbs 22, as I said, verse 6, it is an instruction on how life should be. If you do this, this can happen, etc. You are not sovereign over your children's hearts. You're not. You don't govern their souls. That's impossible. To put that responsibility on a parent is impossible. And shipping them off to Sunday school is a wonderful thing to do. But if that's all where you allow instruction, or school, the instruction for your children to be raised to come from, and you are not feeding into them what life is about, they are not going to come to a point of thinking deeply, of considering and evaluating what they observe about life to make these decisions. So let's take a look at Proverbs 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So let's break that down. And as you know, those of you have been viewing for a while and following for a while, you'll know when I write in a different color, it's that I've done word searches and I've gone back to the original text and taken a look at that to broaden it out so that we can truly grasp what is being shared with us. So to train up, that's to narrow the instruction, to direct it, to make it purposeful, to dedicate and discipline. Now, you've got to be dedicated in the instruction you give to children, and it's got to be disciplined and direct. You've got to do it, and that is in how you are raising them. It's all areas of life. It's just not one thing. It's all of it. Are you that committed? Are you that involved? In the way. That's the road of life, the direction they need to take. What are their interests? What are their inclinations? What do they gravitate towards? That is how you, if a child is artistic, are you narrowing and directing them so that they can hone that skill? If your child is academic, are you giving them the books to read? Not just giving them the books to read, are you communicating with them? Are you familiar with the topics yourself? And you should, because you shouldn't leave it up to others, even authors, writers of books, even me talking to you. Check the Word of God. Check it for yourself to make sure I'm telling you what is right. So train up a child in the way, the road of life, the direction. The treading on it to bend is what came up in my research. And treading on it to bend, it's like taking a bow and how they had to fashion a bow and bend it carefully, intentionally and deliberately tying it down to shape it in the way it should go. Friends, there we go. The bending of a bow is the diligence, the shaping, the narrowing, and the direction that you need to focus on your child's development in the way it should go. The corner, the position, the appointment. Are you taking them to a specific point in whatever area you are training at? Now, I'm not saying isolated just to their hobbies and their interests. I'm talking about, who do you want your child to be at the end of the day when they're an adult? You raise your children up so you can launch them into adulthood so that they can be successful in contributing to society and being well-rounded, holistic, beautiful, gorgeous people. Okay, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So depart, turn away, withdraw, and leave undone. He will not abandon those things that he's instructed on. Again, friends, this is not a promise. It's saying, if you do this, this should be the result. Again, let's take a look at the next verse. It's not verse 16. I think it's verse 14 or 15. It's verse 15. I'm sorry. That should be 22:15. Folly is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of discipline drives it far from him. Now, when I read that, please don't say, well, Anna Delman is telling us to get that rod out, that stick, and whack our kids. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. However, each child needs to be disciplined, corrected, and trained differently. And you will know that as you are an adult. You will see that certain methods of study and disciplines in your life are different for others. You respond to the hurt and the strangenesses in life individually. So, folly, silliness, stupidness is bound, tied up, girded, confined. The foolishness of youth is compacted in their heart, in the heart. Which is the will, the mind, the understanding, and the intellect, and the unawareness of all of that in this context of this verse, in the heart of a child. But the rod, it is in the original text like a branch, a stick, means of correction. I will address that in a moment. Rod of discipline. So the discipline, now let's consider what it means. It is a tool, a means of correction. A means of correction. I reiterated that purposefully because many people will take that literally. Yes, I do believe in spanking. Now, when I'm saying spanking, friends, I'm talking more like tapping, and then you sit down and you talk about it. You chastise, you correct, you instruct, you tell them what they've done wrong and why you've taken that action. And it should be something that they understand is the punishment or the correction that goes with bad behaviors. It's a restraint, not the rod. The discipline is a restraint, a rebuke. You were bad, you were ugly, you were naughty, and this is what you did, and this is why I'm correcting you. And a warning. Now, friends, again, every child is different. You may say to your child, don't you do that, and they will break down and cry right away. That was so hurtful to them. And their behavior will change right away. Now, you do not scream, you do not shout, unless, of course, your child is about to fall off a cliff and they're taking one step. You scream at as loud as you can, take your foot back and take it back now. But in a home environment, it goes back to Proverbs 24, 3 and 4. Chapter 24, verses 3 and 4. Through skillful and godly wisdom is a house, a life, a home built, and by understanding it is established. I'm reading it from my metal board where I have it magneted on there because it's what I have lived my life and cultivated my life around for the past 20 years. So let me go back to reading it. By understanding it is established on a sound and good foundation, and by knowledge the rooms, every area, every recess, the deepest parts of a life, a home, a family are built and filled with all precious and pleasant riches. You get to know your child and you get to know how to correct them, and you use what you need to use lovingly. You're not loving your child if you're not correcting them, and you need to understand what that tool is that you need to correct them with. If your child is the kind of child that needs a tap, then you need to do it lovingly and let them know these are the consequences. Anything that's violent, anything that's abusive, absolutely no go. And I cannot stress that more than I'm already doing so. So friends, I just think that the amount of time you put into raising your kids, when you have a plan before they're even born, this is how we're going to do family, this is how we're going to do life, this is how we're going to pattern our family unit for our children, how we are going to train them up, how we are going to guide them, shape them, that it is known and agreed on by both parents. That is the way you do it. There is another verse that I did share with this young couple that were here over the weekend when they were thinking about some things in their family, and I will share that tomorrow because it is intriguing and they were quite surprised in hearing how I explained it to them, and I'd like to do that with you. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow. So I hope you're encouraged. And friends, you may say, well, I never had this as a child. My parents didn't know any of this. Apply this. You're an adult. Apply it to your life. You're a child of the Most High God. It is never too late for you to learn any of this. It's never too late for you to take the rod of correction to your own life, to your own circumstances, and chastise yourself. Chastise yourself. I said that a little weirdly. Chastise, correct, instruct, read the Word of God. I just shared Proverbs 24 verses 3 and 4 for you. That can show you how deeply the changes can come. Instruct yourself. The Word of God is there. Read, start reading. Restrain yourself if you know you're tempted by something, and sometimes a bag of potato chips is wonderful. Candy bars are great. Socializing with people who are nasty is not great. Restrain yourself if you're working on changes. Rebuke yourself. Self, what are you doing? Stop now. Change, grow, be mature, own up, fess up. Warning. Warn yourself, if you keep doing this, your road is one way and it's downhill, and the outcome is bad for you, and the consequences will be beyond you. You can change even today, even now. I hope that's an encouragement. It sure is for me, although it's intended to encourage you for children. If you have them, if you're planning, share with others so that they can be encouraged too. But you're a child of God too, as I've already said. You too can change. You too can grow according to all this. Until tomorrow, friends, I hope that is a great encouragement to you. So until then, take care and God bless, and we will talk again. Bye-bye for now.